let's, I don't think we can just go straight back up, can we? That would be convenient. No, we totally can. Okay. Didn't want to have to go all the way back down through there. Now, he said to go into the tunnels, which is... Those are the tunnels. I would have found out what those claw things in the wall are. When you hear that sound, that means... spawning some of these guys. Tommy gun does so little damage. But because they're getting so close to you, you kind of want that. You kind of want the spray of bullets rather than the big upfront damage. It's much more useful that way. All right, so now we need to get back around to the laboratory. I don't know if there are any enemies here, but let's pull out the rifle. Big distances could be important to have the range on this. We're just going to the laboratory to get down around the prison in a more convenient way. Rather than going straight down. Yeah, that's right. You're next. Plant. Crowbar is useless now. It's only really good in that one level you get it in for killing like 3 guys. Until you get the guns. Let's make sure we have full bullets for this. Actually killed him. This is gonna happen more later. Trust me. It's important to recognize that sound. To know where they are coming from. I think I'm out of bullets for this. Out of clips, I mean. Okay. I wonder who sleeps here under this plant. Whoa. You recognize this place? You should. It's from the beginning. Although it's got grass on it. Can I push the button?
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work, huh? Well, we got that crystal. Yeah.
This looks familiar. I've seen machinery like this somewhere before.
Yes, you have. Put the green crystal in. And it's basically the same thing as before from the tutorial level. Only this time monsters don't come out. We go in!
I've seen a room similar to this somewhere before. This place doesn't seem to have been used for thousands of years.
You're not gonna look at the portal? Whatever. So now, we are up here. We saw this in our little vision. This is... This is the energy weapon that they refer to in that little book scene. It's the best gun in the game, I probably...
It's too dangerous. I need to find another way out.
Let's probably alluded to it before. You need this gun to play the game. It has no ammo, and when you push the trigger, hold it down, and charge it up, it fires a big bolt of lightning. You can also fire smaller bolts. And spoilers, there's guys in here. So, it will kill most enemies in one hit, regardless of where you hit them if you hit them a charged blast. It's important to note that you are not immortal while using this. Up here, there's a room here. Let's go check it out. And there's some bullets. And health.
Nothing of interest.
Kit. But we are full apparently on health kits, so that's great. Nothing over here. So we need to go back down to the level. Remember that tunnel full of starfish? There were too many of them to get past. I said we didn't have a strong enough weapon. Well, now we do. And there's an interesting thing to do with that. This being like fully charged blast from this will actually kill these ones too. Or not even a fully charged one. Let's not this gun is absolutely vital to complete the mission. Because there are certain enemies that can only be hurt by this. Also, we have to go through the starfish area, which you need this gun. So, that's where we want to go. So this being a gun that shoots lightning, and them being... Oh no, I went the wrong way. Oops. Down. Oops. I'm gonna go down. I'm injured. A little splattering sound is what it sounds like when you're walking through the coming down here. Oh, look, there's water. Let's charge it up. You also can't aim this. If you are in the water when you do that, you will die. just so you know. This tube. So this is the tunnels that one guy was referring to. Things are about to get much worse for old Jack here. Okay. So we're into the, I don't know. Scary part of the game. There's an autosave right there. I don't think it's necessary to manually save here. So, this door here, well, this is from A Shadow Out of Time, as is probably a quarter of this game's storyline, actually. These are the things that the great race of Yes, they used to seal their ancient enemy, which is, well, they were describing with the energy weapon, and these 5 hold footprints thing. Now, this is bad news, because this means that, well, number one, we see these things that they were describing. Number 2, we found the energy weapon near here. Now, I don't remember if they actually reference energy weapons anywhere in Shadow Out of Time. The Great Race of Yith was actually wiped out by these. They actually moved forward in time using their method of transportation. That's not really a spoiler. That happens. Well, they describe that pretty early in the story. So, and it doesn't really pertain to the actual happenings of the story. I'm getting out of here while the world is shaking. But to see what they were about. Also the control of winds. And there. Flying polyps. I'm going to charge it up completely and shoot it. There are actually 2 of these. And you take a lot of sanity damage when you see it. I missed. See, there's another one. Shit. These things are supposed to be basically invulnerable. Great energy weapons. Now you gotta be careful because they control wind, so they'll actually knock you off the edge. You might wonder why I'm fighting them in the middle of the bridge then. These places. That sound is them teleporting. Good chance to take a breather, charge up your gun. Oh, and the gun will shoot by itself. If you aren't careful. This is disgusting. I don't know where the name polyp comes from. I guess it's supposed to be like coral polyps. Or multiple segmented creatures. I don't know. They're kind of scary. They remind me of something you'd see in scary stories to tell in the dark. Children's books. The art in those was really disturbing. Okay, so that thing's dead. I'm going to take a chance to heal here. But there's still another one. He's just teleported behind me. Stop crouching. Okay, so that one's dead too. Victory! And you can see there's another one of those sealed entrances. Which is... well... come on. Basically where we're supposed to go. Back up. Because if you remember, we're coming in here to go get... oh, wait a minute, climb this. we're climbing in here. We came in here to get to the temple of Dagon or Cthulhu or whatever. Temple of guy who was shot in the face. Not Cthulhu. We didn't shoot Cthulhu in the face. Can't go that way. Okay, so that was the flying polyp fight. It's probably harder than the final boss. It was not the final boss, though. That is still to come. That fight's just... well, you'll see that. Not necessary. Oh, and they gave us a boatload of ammo there. There's not really any reason to use it. over the energy weapon. The jump is a bit weird. The energy weapon is basically better than everything else. Though one could argue that the Tommy gun does have its uses at this point, so this makes most of the single shot weapons obsolete. Okay, so this is the Temple of Dagon, and well, we'll see what that has in store for us. Alright, so let's go explore the temple. So this is the end of the game. Basically, there's two other areas. Well, one other area after this. This is the Temple of Dagon. On either side, there is a health kit. We'll leave those there.
It's a shrine for worship.
There's just 2 shrines and some fish statues. There's no way out of this room, basically. We came in through the vent over there, obviously. And if you fall down into the water, you die. Up here...
It's written in some kind of ancient language.
Are tablets. These are book.
These are the tablets of Dagon. This must be the original source text for Obid's translation, the Book of Dagon. I can now read some of the last passages. I'll write them down.
He's much better at translating than the Marshes are, apparently. But that's funny that you get that much stuff out of, 2 tablets. I guess it's not, alphabetic. It means different things, but I don't know. I'm sure how you would translate that then. For a study to produce an exact translation, but Jack's still pretty good at this. And basically, they're talking about Ryla being lifted from the deep. This is basically a reference to Call of Cthulhu. And one of the few direct references, they do reference Cthulhu in the main story, or the story Shadow of Innsmouth, but not to that direct degree, I believe. So this is a big gun. If we bring the gun, it summons deep ones. Right now we don't want to do that. So let's go up into the main chamber. You can see the health kits on either side here. So if you need them, you can go get them. I shouldn't need them if everything goes correctly. So up here, you can see that. That is Hydra. Our final boss. And 2 slippers. And I missed. You gotta be very careful going down these stairs so that you don't fall. It's actually not a good idea to go down these stairs fighting other things later. Because you might fall. And because Jack's sanity is off here because of Hydra. Basically, as they're coming down the stairs, though, they're kind of vulnerable. So I missed. Okay. Calm down, Jack. Okay. So as we go into this room, see the Hydra is surrounded by a force field. We can't shoot her.
The pool is sealed tight.
As you can see down here at the bottom, there's some water up here. Remember that for later. And there's a thing we can't get to because Hydra. There's some fish statues up there. There's 5 of them. And then there's a central thingy here. That's important. This is basically a puzzle. And those are the keys to the puzzle. But there's a bit more to it, which we'll get into in a second.
The doorway is sealed by some mystical force.
Can't go out that way.
I'll need to decipher it.
So we need to look at our
According to the text, the doors can only be opened with an ancient chant, spoken by someone in possession of a sacred charm.
Okay, as you may have guessed from that, the sacred charm is what is sitting on that altar with the save point there. So here we have a statue with a thing behind it. And we push the thing. The water starts coming out. And going down there. It starts feeling like that pool. When we do that, summons 4 deep ones. You might be tempted to go down the stairs. It's not a good idea if you're going down the stairs backwards because, well, you might fall off and break your legs. Not advisable. Although if you do that, there's, you know, those medkits. So, those ones also have switches on them, and as you can see, they have little things too. However, Jack's feeble jumping abilities do not allow him to get up that high. I guess our ability is telling us to kneel in this pool. If you couldn't tell that was actually Jack in the pool. It didn't look like a deep one, did it? Which summons the deep one. Oh god. Seal ourselves. As you can see, once we fill that pool with water, if we shoot it with our electric gun, the starfish thing, it electrocutes that. And that's actually what we're supposed to do, is just get enough water into here for that water down there to touch Hydra. And then shoot it with our electric gun. So, let's try that again.
Concentrate with that damn creature's wailing.
Apparently, hearing Hydra is distracting us too much. So what we actually need to do is we need to go down and actually deafen ourselves with the gong. We need to get right up next to it and charge this completely and then shoot the gong. This will deafen us for long enough to actually do the ritual. This will actually summon deep ones, so need to be careful. This also hurts Jack's sanity a little bit, so don't be too far gone when you do it. And be careful on the stairs. Don't want to fall off. Usually only summons 2 when you do this. Okay. And we kneel. Kneel before Hydra. When you do that, you actually inhabit one. You can actually see Jack down in the pit there. So what we need to do is we need to jump up there. We need to hit these fish thingies with our fleshy paws. Okay, that deep one is still going to be there. You actually need to shoot him. Any more? Okay, there you go. You see what I mean by the sorcerers being tougher. These things usually die in one hit. The electric gun, no matter how much you charge it, but sometimes more. So it's kind of hard to tell, but there's actually more water in there. And these things don't actually raise. It just kind of makes the water go in. So, rinse and repeat for all 4 things. As I said, more of a puzzle than anything else. Just avoid falling down, avoid getting hit by the monsters. That wasn't enough. I think if you ring it twice in quick succession, it's not going to summon extra dudes, so... Ooh, that one didn't die. Alright. Okay. Let's do this one now. Sometimes these will bug out. And you can't hit them. You basically have to redo the whole thing. It'll only do it on the first one, so as far as I can remember. So if it works the first time, then it'll work the rest of it. And it's... I don't know what the cause of the bug is, but it's a bit iffy sometimes. Come on, dork ones. Boom. Enemies aren't very intimidating once you get this gun. So... Sting the dung again. Make sure Jeff can't hear anything anymore. He's gonna have tinnitus after this. Or just be plain deaf. Whatever it is. Not good for his hearing. Only one? Only one this time? Okay. I guess I wasn't in the middle. There we go. Okay. This one. Oh, it's already down. This one. You see there's another one down there. If we die, as a deep one, we die. And they can attack each other. Well, they'll attack you as a deep one. As you can see, there's slightly more water in there. Okay, and deep ones. No. As far as I know, we can't examine Hydra at this moment. Hydra is causing the force field, as they kind of indicated before. And they said Mother's leading the others in prayer. The barrier is holding. The barrier is the thing outside that's like keeping the city from getting shot with the submarine. They do reference the submarine in the story, so that's not something that they made up. Or at least they reference the outsiders attacking the city, implying that the Navy did it. Okay. Either through depth charges or a submarine. So, I think we're clear. And I got the ones on the other side to do. Okay. This one is hit. One of the things you can do is you can kind of run the deep one away from you. So you can control him. You can do greedy without charging on these things. These things pretty fast. Whoa. Especially if you miss. I gotta say, the lack of the crosshairs in this game is definitely the most challenging part, especially with a gun like this that doesn't have any reliable iron sights. You kind of guess where the thing's pointed eventually, so it's not too difficult, but wasn't enough. Why do I keep doing that? It does give those things more time to get over to here. Which is alright, I'd rather not have them ambush me at the top of the stairs. When I'm coming up. Alright. So I believe we have either the one on the end or the one closest to do. Already been hit, so it's the one at the end. Oh, no. Okay, what's this one? Or maybe I did them all. Didn't realize it. Did I do them all? I did. Was very bad. I must have hit them all. Any deep ones coming? Stab. Okay. So I miscounted. Hydra did. Look at Hydra. Wait, he won't look at Hydra. So now we have a pendant. Decorative gold disc adorned with jewels. Okay, so this save point's... Okay, so this save point's actually pretty important because, not that save point in particular, but you should probably save as often as you can before this point coming up. You can save there, which saves you a little bit of time, but you don't want to have to do that boss fight over. So basically what we have to do is we have to use this thing.
Behuin and Kugnath, Fanu Naemna, Bagliz Kafungin, Kathavahel, Call of Cthulhu Kafungni, Rigazengaro, Hydra.
To save a little bit of time here, that opens the door. So you don't have to do that again. You can go back and save after you do that. The thing that's going to happen coming up is one of the... when I played this before, this was the only game-breaking bug. It's a very good sequence, but the game doesn't let you complete it normally. So you have to cheat. So I've already turned on the thing that modifies the running speed that lets you do it, and well, as you can see through here at the window, the submarine is shooting missiles, well, torpedoes, and since the barrier's gone, we have to run crazy, and this is the problem. The rocks will fall on us. You need to avoid those. And you're gonna have to know where they are. And Jack's sanity is quite important here because you move slower when you're insane. Alright. Here. This will collapse in front of you. You need to jump over it. And then going around the corner here. Hug the edge here. And you want to hug the edge here along the wall. Now there was a thing that said you could turn on vertical sync, and that will help solve the problem of the game not letting you complete it. Hug the wall here to avoid that. That's blocked off. We need to get to the top. Hug the wall here to avoid that. Now this is the part where you usually die, because this room has some timing issues with it, with that back thing by the door. Okay. Now we need to get up to here. So inventory. Use this thing. This is actually still timed while you're doing this.
Bagliz Kafungin, Kathavahel, Call of Cthulhu Kafungni, Rigazengaro, Hydra.
And then that opens the portal here. And you step through it.
Jack! Hold up! Oh my god! Is he okay?
What the hell happened to him? Check his pulse.
Jack! Can you hear me? Jack!
If you remember that doorway in the Temple of Dagon, Esoteric Order of Dagon, we actually stepped through that, the one upstairs.
Jack, why have you summoned me?
There is something I must show you. We must hurry. Time is short.
Where are we going?
The Great Library. A terrible conflict is upon us, and our hosts will not survive it. The keenest minds are already projecting to later days.
Who will be the enemy? There have been no ructions with either the Migo in the north, or Cthulhu's kin to the south.
In your wanderings, did you come upon the vast sealed trapdoors at the foundation of the old city?
Yes, but I didn't understand their purpose.
There was a terrible war between us and a race of half-polypus creatures that had been dominant until our arrival. This volume tells of that bloody period.
Why are you showing me this now?
They are still down there, Jack, thriving in the darkness. They are plotting to break free of their bonds and wreak a terrible revenge. The end is inevitable, and close, very close.
How much time do we have? What the hell was that?
You are no longer safe. Follow me.
Oh, they broke their toy. So we've come full circle.
Mr. Walters? Mr. Walters? Can you hear me? Mr. Walters?
He's convulsing. We're losing him.
So, in the end, as in a lot of Lovecraftian stories, Jack gives in to despair and kills himself. So, we get a D ranking. Got 97% complete. I believe that is because... I don't know why it's 97%. But, it was probably something where I had to reload something. But I did show everything on screen, I believe. So you can see my drug abuse was clean at the bottom there. Basically, I never showed off the drugs. They basically make it so that you will not have things from pain. I was planning on using them in the last section where you run away. Because sometimes if you get hit, you can use your drugs and that will help you. But I didn't. I didn't need to. I never got hit, so I don't know. Mental condition clinically insane because they didn't avoid any of the looking at stuff in the blood loss and medium. I always assumed that these things were linked to the rating, but the rating is only based on completion time and the number of saves. And as you can see, I made 59 saves because, well, it's an LP, and if I lose anything, then, you know, bad stuff happens. It seems to just basically use all the saves that you've done, even if you reload from them. Which, you know, this is a hard game, sometimes I had to do that. And I've unlocked a new difficulty setting. And a new high score, wow! So let's watch the credits. And as you can see, it was based on that role-playing game that I referred to at the very early part, which is probably why it's called Call of Cthulhu. The ending there, where he's talking to the great race of Pieth, is a reference to the end of Shadow Out of Time. I'll try to show the good ending. I think you get a different ending if you get an A rank, but I'll find out, and if I do, we'll pen to the end of this. You don't get anything special for doing that. You don't get special modes or anything like that. But the game, I really like it. There's a couple of game-breaking bugs, but there are fixes around that. There's a program that I was planning to use if it didn't work, but where you slightly increase the speed of the character. And come to think of it, I might have already had that turned on because I just ported this from another computer. That could have been. Anyway, but it makes the last one possible if you know how to do it. If you screw up, you still die. And it only gives you like maybe a second to actually complete that section where you run through. The one on the ship, there's one where you can turn off the entire shooting the guys. 3 waves happen and then it ends. Other than that, I think this is a fantastic game that really, I don't know, it deserved more sequels, but they canceled them for some reason. I'm not sure why. I guess the company ran out of money or whatever. So this is the end of Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I'm sorry there was a delay between the, well, last 2 episodes, or last few episodes. I don't know how long the boss fight was, but I'm going to append the extended cutscene and show some concept footage at the end of this, so stay tuned for that. I'm scared too.
You are no longer safe. Follow me.
Okay, here's the part of the cutscene that we didn't get. I'm just going to show this section and then we'll go on to some other stuff. But here's what we missed from not getting a good ranking.
If this is the end, where am I supposed to go?
It's time for you to go back.
Back?
Yes, back to your own time. But before you leave, there is something more you need to know.
What is this place?
The human mind is too delicate a fabric for the return displacement. It could easily tear. Your memories of Narcotis must be cleaned.
Will I remember nothing of this place? 6 years of my life, and for nothing?
When the time comes, you will remember. We will be waiting in the shadows of your dreams.
These riddles make no sense. What was it I needed to know?
Did you ever wonder about your visions?
Nightmares. It came with the territory. Sometimes it helped with the cases.
Bad dreams are never that accurate. You are different from the rest of your race, Jack. Your father could see it. Suicide was his escape from the truth.
What's this got to do with him?
He has been here too. He was displaced just moments before you were conceived. I was the transferred mind.
What are you saying? That you're my father?
Not entirely. You are not of our kind, but neither are you completely human. I'm sorry, Jack. There is no more time.
Okay, we're gonna show some bonus content here. I will have put in the extended cutscene before this, so you'll be able to see that, which explains why Jack is rather odd. The special features here show different cinematics and things like that. It basically just shows different concept arts and things like that. It's just characters from the game, basically, and different art assets. The fugly Deep One hybrids. What's her name? Oh, something I wanted to bring up. The references to him being insane when he says, "My father had the answer." Well, the answer was suicide, as you could tell from the cultists from the beginning. All runified. The Innsmouth cops. That's basically it. Background renders. This is Jack's office. Another thing in Jack's office. This is the Esoteric Order of Dagon, the library, or no, the garden. That's the ship galley. This is the Innsmouth refinery. Another Esoteric Order of Dagon picture, the main hall. This is the church where Rebecca's not. Well, was that a name? I don't remember. It's a picture of something, Cthulhu or something. I think that's supposed to be a Deep One hybrid. These things, you never really see these in the game. It's probably supposed to be Dagon. Picture of the sunken city. Innsmouth, presumably. Arkham Asylum. This is the weird garden in the sunken city. This is the Innsmouth gold refinery thing. And this is the Temple of Dagon, where Hydra was, and the frozen river. And the outside of the refinery where we were being shot with the machine gun. Craig Mullins Gallery. Let's look at that. I have no idea what that is. I guess they're just pictures of things. Looks like somebody's eating a dead body. This is rather more stylized, less things that are actually in the game. They're rather neat looking. I believe that one of the deep one, yeah, and the ones of the deep ones are used for some of the cover art and things like that. There's Jack. Early concept art. Well, that's cool. That picture of Cthulhu punching the ship, that happens in the story Call of Cthulhu. It's just vague things that could have been... that's probably supposed to be Nakotis right there. Portal. See that at the end of the game. Don't know what that is. It's probably where you fight the polyps right there. Presumably some kind of temple. And that's basically it for these. I hope you enjoyed the bonus features here. The special ranking doesn't do anything at the end, I found out, so that'll be it. And I will see you next time.